Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell. So every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Let's talk about this Mowry and Cory Hardrict divorce settlement stipulation. I'm on Madam Awards page. And when I first heard this, first thing I thought was, this is something that Mowry put in. Side note, why does it seem that women do not want to take their husband's last name in public? I don't get it. I really don't get that. I mean, I don't know, because think about this. Kim Kardashian, she would use Kim Kardashian West in public. As a matter of fact, when you look at articles when her and Kanye were married, she would actually use his last name. She would keep the Kardashian, but then hyphenate it and put the West. And you see that it hasn't hurt her. She still got a show. She still make all this money. I don't get it, but for some reason, and I'm gonna say our women, and I'm sure other women do it too, but like Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union, you don't see articles where it say Gabrielle Union Wade. It just say Gabrielle Union. And this here, Mowry Hardrict, you don't see her saying Mowry Hardrict. You say, it just says Mowry. What is the problem with taking your husband's name when that's, tradition? People try to go against tradition, and that's what I'm gonna get into also in this video, because there is a big push against tradition when it comes to family. Things that work, things that kept the community safe, kept families together, gave kids an opportunity or a better chance at survival or what do you want to call it? Success as adults. And there's a big push to go away from that. And people are not understanding. It's like they're not seeing what's happening with the world, with all your crime and your dropout rates and your homeless rates and your drug addiction and, stuff of this nature. And people, it's going in this whole, I'm not even gonna say the whole LMNOP community, the transgender people who are trying to just force things. Because I know people that are not transgender who are in the LGBT community looking at this push for children education and children involvement with transgenderism, and it's what it say, we're free, it's me, we're coming for your children. What was that message the other day? We're coming for your children? Like what? Next, I know some, some gays and lesbians who ain't about that life, not even pushing that life. But it is this big push to go against this tradition, and it's slowly but surely backfiring and biting everybody in the butt. But anyway, back to the story. Let's go to this Madam Award. So they get this divorce. They got this. They got this stipulation. Like I said, when I saw this, I said this is something that Mowry put in. I guarantee it. But it's good that it's on paper. It's good that it's on paper. It's good that somebody, whether it's one of them or both of them, understood that everything we talk about, no matter how petty it is, you write it down. So if there's any breach, you can go back and revisit this, and I can take you to court, and which means I can probably get something else, or or demand something else. Okay, so it says here, Mowry and Cory Hardrict reached divorce settlement with strict rules for introducing children to romantic partners. It says Mowry and Cory Hardrict's divorce settlement was heavily focused on the well-being of the two children. The actors will share joint and legal custody of the kids, son Creed, 11, and daughter Cairo, 4. Neither adult nor the friends and families are allowed to speak in a negative, disrespectful, and derogatory manner about their former spouse in front of the children, according to the legal documents obtained by Radar Online. That's good, but it's going to be kind of hard to control friends and family from talking bad about you. See, like, but this is more towards, like I said, the female side of it. Because I'm gonna say, like, as a man being divorced, once, I probably rarely, if ever, spoke about my ex in a derogatory way to anybody. Just, especially to my kids. And like I said, and I probably could. She probably could say some things about me, I'm sure, which I believe she's probably had. But I just wouldn't do it, not to the children, because it's like, nah, they'll figure it out. If it's something wrong with me, they'll figure it out. And if it's something wrong with their mom, they'll figure it out. I know what I know, and we just go, so we go with that. But other than that, all that talking and, trying to pit the kids against, one of each other, that's bull karma, man. You don't do no mess like that. It said the outlet also reported that Mowry would keep the former spouse's Studio City, California family home. The former sister actress isn't required to pay Hardrict any spousal or child support, which means they come into agreement. She made more money, because normally whoever makes the most money, man or woman, you get a good lawyer, the woman is paying the man's spousal support, alimony and stuff like that. And women getting outraged saying, why would that man want that money from that woman? Well, hell, humans are humans, right? Everybody want to be equal. You want to have the same equal rights as men. So when we get to that courtroom, all this, the gloves are off. We should all be treated equal. If I was making more than my wife or what have you, and we got a divorce, they're gonna say, hey, you owe so many years of spousal support. Or if it was in another, another state, I would owe alimony. So it is what it is. So if she makes more money than me, and and there was divorce, then why shouldn't I? I mean, I don't think I'd be the type of person that would ask for that. Most likely that's a lawyer type thing. A lawyer will try to screw the other person. But I'd be like, look, let's just be fair. Let's just do this like this and be gone with it. But on the other hand, most women wouldn't do that. Let's say more detailed aspects of the divorce paperwork outline that the former couple had strict rules for how, if, and when their future romantic partners would engage with their kids. Quote, each party is restrained from introducing the minor children to a new romantic partner until that party has been in an exclusive relationship with the romantic partner for at least 6 months. Noted a portion of the legal paperwork revealed by people. Moreover, the exes prohibited each other from overnight sleepovers with their new romances in homes where their kids were present until 6 months into a newly established exclusive relationship. The parties agreed that the restraints set forth in this paragraph are in the best interest of the children, the divorce settlement emphasized. So let's look at this. Tia Mowry, we have seen since their divorce, has put up a number of thirst traps, to say it nicely, trying to show her sex appeal, probably trying to court another mate, right? This is what she's doing, because trying to just get ahead of the game, because her ex, Cory, said that he, in a recent interview, said that he is too focused on his kids and work to have a girlfriend amid divorce from Tia Mowry. So this right here shows that, like I said, that whole paragraph about kids can't meet a new relationship partner unless you've been in a relationship for 6 months. Number one, a lot of men don't time relationships, especially early on. I can't remember how many times I have forgotten. Well, let's just say, hell, I've never thought of dating anniversary. But there were times in my life from high school on up to where, girls will say, remember when our first date? When we started going together on this day. The only reason I can remember one day is because it was something that significant happened on that day. I ain't talking about marriage, I'm talking about like dating. There's something significant happened on that day, so it was like impossible for me to forget, but it wasn't like something that I was like gonna try to celebrate. But I mean, a few times women be like, hey, the girls or women be like, you remember we started dating on this day. Our first date was here. Now I can recall where we probably went, but I don't remember no dates. I'm not really good with dates. I don't care about that. And there times I forgot damn anniversary dates. Knew it was around about that time, but I had to be reminded to figure out. Hell, I even had to go look at the damn marriage certificate to remember. I mean, hey, that just is what that's just me. It may not be everybody else. Forgive me. But all in all, most guys say we're not remembering no anniversary of when we start dating. Like, oh, I'm start dating you on this day because if we can stay together for 6 months, then my kids can meet you. No. But see, the 6 months, that could be a gift and a curse, a positive and negative, because what if you meet somebody on January 1st and y'all hit it off, and then by April or May, y'all are engaged or want to get engaged? You can't, because you have to wait 6 months before you introduce your youngins to your new boyfriend, your new girlfriend. Now they'll tell you that guys, we can meet somebody and it really won't take long for us to say, hey, I think this is who I want to be with. It won't take 6 months. It won't take a year. That's why they say if you date somebody for like over a year or so and they ain't talking about marriage, this, that, and the third, man, you might want to forget that, because there's no need for a guy to wait. Shoot, I know guys whose wife didn't die back in the day. Listen, but if he had kids and say his wife passed away, shoot, he go, after a little time, he go and start courting other women and looking to marry. If he find like the perfect person he need, he'll marry him pretty quick, because he needs somebody. So I know he needs somebody to help raise him children. But I know of a guy, he probably in his 60s or 70s, wife died and ended up dating, I think, getting married to, I don't know if he got married to her pretty quick, it might be within a year or so, but he was with another woman, but he's old. You say, well, he's old, he needs to be taken care of. He needs somebody to take care of, has somebody take care of him all their life, so he needs somebody to take care of him. This person is showing him that love and attention. Why wait? That's how dudes think. But a lot of times you get these women going back on this 6 month waiting spell. They'll try to jump in relationships quick, and they try to post it. They're gonna try to post it on the internet, so they're either gonna try to hurry and jump in a relationship, or they're gonna try to show how happy they are with these very subtle, like I say, thirst traps, to try to entice men to come knocking at their door, waiting on a gentleman caller, come knocking on their door for their hand to courting. That's what they do. Dudes don't do that. Dudes ain't like to do that. Like this guy say, man, I got my kids, I'm happy. That's what women understand, that this is why a lot of times women get into it with guys. The first thing they do is threaten to take kids away from them if they can't see their children, or I'm gonna have some other man raising your kids. They'll say stuff like that just to piss that man off, because they know that the number one thing after a guy's mother, if not even after, on that same level of his mother at least, is his children. Don't play with a man's kids. You don't do that. Oh, especially, well, just don't play with his kids, period. So he is saying he got his kids and he got to work, ain't got time to be having no girlfriend. And let's be honest too, this is what women know. Women know that other women are pretty much hawking your man probably while you with him. And then if there's a divorce, they probably gonna try to swoop in. So I'm quite sure old brother Cory I've probably been approached by a lot of women since his divorce. And his kids probably ain't never know about it and would never know about them. I can tell my own story. Well, after my divorce, you know, I dated some females or whatever, and my kids never met them. You know, they wouldn't know who they are. But on the other hand, and we had, I'm gonna tell you, I'll say this part, and we had a verbal agreement. That's why I say that this is good that it's on paper. Even as petty as it sounds, anything that y'all agree to, put it on paper. Because once you get the courts involved, you can't go back on it unless y'all agree on it. So you can be petty and a butthole and say, hey, I'm going to court, file charges and contempt charges because he breached the contract. But anyway, yeah, we had that same little agreement verbally that, you know, you can't be bringing a bunch of women around my kid, blah, blah, blah. Okay, you can't do the same thing. So me, like I said, if I had female, I tell them, yeah, I got a kid. Come on, can I meet your kids? Not yet. Because this is how we think. We're like, not yet. Obviously, I don't want a bunch of women, you know, sitting around my kids, especially like if I got daughters. No, I don't want a whole bunch of women, you know, being around my child. And I think I dated a girl for damn near 2 years and she never met my kids. But it's like an off and on thing. But anyway, but on that flip side, let's just say it didn't go like that. It was a pretty quick with a move on. Matter of fact, even doing separations, you know, there were, you know what I'm saying, there were introductions. You know, not me. I'm talking about on the other side. There were introductions to people that I didn't know about, but you know, kids talk. And when, you know, little kids talk, they ain't gonna lie, they're gonna tell you the truth. You know, it is what it is. And then you're like, man, what the hell, you know, what's going on? I could have sworn we said this and the third. And they was like, whatever, blah, 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 I'm doing this in my life, blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay, but this ain't what you said. This is what you brought up. The not bringing a bunch of people around, you know, our kids. You brought that up, not me. Because I already know that's how it's supposed to go. You brought it up because you're trying to control this situation over here still. And you can't do that. But yet being able to live your life freely and what you can make all the, you know, you can make all the rules. You can do what you want to do, but you still try to control this over here. And it just ain't gonna work that way. Like I said, I do what I do because that's just how I am. But you do how you do because that's how you are. So yes, that's why I said this is something that she brought in. But it's that fear of you need to control him still and give you time and a leg up on getting your stuff straight and getting yourself into a relationship. And you can do it on your terms. Because it's about perception. It's about how people look at you. You want people to say that we got the divorce and I'm still living my best life, and look, I still got men after me, or, you know, but if he got women, you don't want the world to know that, oh, he done moved on and got somebody else, especially your children. But it's okay if they know you moved on because mama living her best life. Matter of fact, let me look at this book. Did I pull this bullcorn up? I think I did. Yeah, because Tia Mowry did an interview on a Hello Beautiful magazine or what have you. And this is what I hate. And I'm going to end this with her because I can go all over the place with this damn Tia Mowry voice because it's just typical. Regardless she's famous or not, it's just typical BS. It's like this. It don't make sense. It said Tia Mowry covers Hello Beautiful, candidly confessed the divorce was years in the making. Quote, it's okay to let go. Now, she said that they lost some loved ones, and then she had questioned herself, are you happy? And this is like, she said like 4 or 5 years in the making. This goes to, I can't remember who the heck I was watching. But they said that women plan these breakups for a long time. If a woman says she wants a divorce, it's been in the making for years. And I remember a guy saying it, and I can't remember who it was. But when I saw this, that's the first thing I thought was, that dude was right. And they do plan it for years because it happens so quick and out the blue that you wouldn't even know it blindside. You wouldn't even know it's coming until it was there. And but what I hate are these freaking cliches and these freaking words of wisdom that people post on these Instagram pages that make no sense, and Facebook, trying to sound philosophical and for no reason at all, which pretty much means you going through some, most time they're going through some mess. And they're trying to act like that they're just spiritually in depth, inclined with the Most High. And no matter what they're going through, that everything's fine, you know. But I look at that stuff and I just be like, man, this is bull. Anyway, the actress candidly chatted with Cory Mowry about her personal life and shared that after the death of two close loved ones and a whopping 5 years of therapy, she chose to show her children what it looked like to see their mother, quote, walk in truth. The truth was her decision to split from her husband, Cory Hardrict. As previously reported, Tia announced her split from the actor in October of 2022. Now, you know, Cory Hardrict, he still is acting on TV shows, like currently, so he's still working. So he ain't sitting around there moping. Like you said, he got his kids and he got his work. He ain't worried about no bra. And here's a quote, one of the quotes I'm talking about. I feel like it's a great lesson for them, her children, because it was not an easy decision, Mowry told Hello Beautiful. It was one of the hardest decisions that I have ever had to make in my entire life. I think when she lost like a grandmother and a cousin or something like that, I can't remember. But if they see that mommy can do it, that mommy, no matter what people say, no matter, even if there's some sort of doubt, whatever, mommy pushed through. Push through what? That's what kills me about that. Why put something out there but don't explain what the hell you're talking about? This is a female emotional thing. I'm sorry, I'm gonna go there. I'm about to go male chauvinist right there. So like I say, you talk about this walking in truth. It said they can say my mommy is living and chasing her truth. What the hell? Mowry added, I want my children to do that. That's the best gift I can give them. I want for them not to live a life that I want them to live. For them not to live a life that everybody else wants them to live, or what they think that they should be or live. What? I want them to see that it is okay to have a bad day. I want them to see that it's okay to chase your joy. I want them to see that it is okay to live your truth. Again, what in the hell does that mean? What are the examples? When I do my little videos here, I try to give examples on what I'm talking about, if I can. Real life, first person, third person, what have you. Try to explain what I'm talking about. This bullcorn here, it's like, what are you talking about? What is your truth? Chase your joy. What is your joy? Joy could be a joint or some Ciroc or something. What if that's your joy? Or out there chasing a bunch of men, sleeping with a bunch of men or sleeping with a bunch of women, you know what I'm saying, and being strung out and doing OnlyFans. Is that your joy? Can you really explain? Because most preachers, most real preachers, you know, shout out Tony Evans, when he did a whole thing on marriage, you know, back in the day, I had like a whole like the little videotape. He had like a marriage seminar. One of his sermons said that marriage has to do with 5 things, and being happy ain't got nothing to do with none of them. It's about commitment. It's about responsibility and stuff like that. You follow the rules, you become happy. If you live out here and you trying to be an adult, you have to work, you have to pay. Well, you have to pay bills, you have to eat, you have to have somewhere to live and some way to get around. In order to do that, you have to make money, which 9 times out of 10 means you have to work. So you have to do some work. You can chase your joy all you want to. The joy of sleeping in the bed, in some air conditioning or some heat, centralized. The joy of being able to go get something to eat whenever you want to. The joy of being able to go to the movies or go out whenever you want to. Yes, but in order to do that, you have to put in some work. And a lot of times it's going to be some stuff that you do not like to do. But if you say, oh, I want my fun thing is to just lay around the house and do nothing, well, I'm sorry, you do that unless you living under somebody and leeching off somebody. You ain't gonna be too happy because you're gonna get put out. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, this talk, this spiritual crap, irks me, man, as a man, because I see a person who is faking the funk. Let's take it back to the 70s and 80s. This child is faking the funk. She takes all these pictures where she's half dressed with her, fake Beyonce, and Beyonce married, still doing this mess. I don't understand either. But yeah, these fake pictures where she's fake smiling, half-ass dressed, trying to show her body, her sexuality. But she's chasing her joy. What is your joy? Taking pictures? Taking lingerie pictures next to a bed, let it sit on the floor? Is that what you want your children to see? What is wrong with your kids seeing two people being married, understanding that going through marriage is hard, understand that when you have problems, let's go get some counseling, let's talk about it, let's remember how we got together, what was it that got us together, and see what changed that to where we're separating emotionally from each other. Let's figure this out. Let's figure this out early, and let's see if we can't get back to it. And a lot of times, you can't get back to it. But let's stop this irreconcilable difference bullcorn. Understand that you do what's best for the kid. You stay together because that's what's best for the children. Not saying that it works 100% of the time, because nothing is. But if I have something that, if we can keep this like one certain way, and there is a 75% success rate versus going to this other way that's non-traditional, non-conventional, and the success rate is not even 30%, why in the hell am I going this way? Because it feels good? Because it feels good for today? That's one reason why, like I said in other videos, you can't go off emotion when you make choices, because when you go off emotion, you don't think straight. You don't, a lot of times, don't see past right now. Right now I want to be happy. Right now I want to be free, because this over here is not making me happy. There are different ways to handle conflicts and crises. You just have to figure it out. But it's this mess here. Let's say elsewhere in the story, Tia, who's promoting her new sustainability source and clean beauty hairline. For You by Tia. This is on where she sees herself in 10, 15 years. I see myself living in Portofino, Italy, having a nice glass of wine and eating some pasta, she told Hello Beautiful, and just enjoying life. Well, in 10 or 15 years, your kids, at least one of them, will still be a minor. But you see yourself living in Portofino, Italy, sipping on wine. You ain't say you see yourself, have raised two beautiful kids who went on to be successful, and we co-parented great, and we was in our kids' lives every day. And once my kids become adults and on their own thing and doing their own thing, then I see myself in Italy. No, you're talking about yourself, your selfish needs right now. Forget them kids, what you're saying. You say, I'm breaking tradition. I love being a wife, but I'm understanding that tradition could be a blessing and a curse again. And I'm just throwing numbers out there because we see that we got these kids in these single family homes, single parent homes. And it's not so much that a kid, say a single parent home, which automatically creates a problem, which it does in a sense. But it's like this. You got a parent with kids by themselves, regardless of why, whether she chose to have a bunch of baby dads that no count, whether the father, moved away with, moved away and ran off and went with another woman. whether the father passed away, whether the father's in prison, whatever the cause is, whether she ran away, they she's gonna do her own thing, whatever the reason. Most times, that parent is gonna have to have multiple jobs or live off the state, live off the government. When they got multiple jobs, trying to pay bills, they're not going to be in their child's life a lot. If you got one that's living off the state or leeching off of people, not really doing much, emotionally they're gonna feel some type of way because they're grown and ain't doing nothing. So they may sit around and just mope and not do anything, and so which causes them not to really be a part of their kids' life because they ain't doing nothing. When you see that the majority of people that's in the prison system, where they come from, the type of families they come from, that's what I'm saying. It's a blessing or a curse, but if your odds of it being more of a blessing or better by staying together than as it being a curse, because you do have marriages where there's abuse. See it a lot. Neglect, infidelity, you see it a lot. When you have that, yes, that's one of those curses. But again, those are the ones where you, understandably, you separate, like I said, when there's like abuse. Now, can't call it abuse if a man say, hey, this is what we're gonna do, whatever it is. And you say, well, you'll never listen to me. Yeah, I listen to you. It don't make sense. This is the way we're going. That's not abuse. A man say, you ain't walking out this house with all your legs showing and all your cleavage out. That's not abuse. You know what I'm saying? A man chastises his kids for being disobedient, disrespectful, and might put that belt on butt. That's not abuse. You understand? You see what I'm saying? If y'all are arguing or disagreeing about something and he's talking and he sees he's not getting through to you, and in order to keep himself calm, he's quiet and don't say a word and just sit there and may walk to the other room, trying to keep the conversation from getting out of hands. Just so cooler heads can prevail. We can revisit this later. That's not abuse. Just because you see your friends out there traveling the world, and when they all single, and then you want to go and your husband like, no, you ain't going nowhere. You going to all these single girls for? You ain't single. Find you some married friends. We can all go together. And he said, you're not going, blah, blah, blah. That's not abuse. But with that being said, like I say, if you are in a truly abusive relationship, then yes, that would be part of the curse. But again, that's not the norm. The norm is sticking to tradition of both of you. And playing your roles the way it's supposed to be played. That's where the gift is. So whereas change is constant, yes, it's change. That don't mean you don't stay married. Y'all can change. Because for instance, let's say you first get married. Like I said, when I first got married, what was like? I had no job. Well, no, I did have a job. I'm gonna get that back. But working at what, Walmart? Making little money, staying in a one-bedroom apartment, $425, all bills paid. Barely making it. You know what I'm saying? While I was working like part-time, like 5 hours a week at a bank. I mean, shoot, it was, come on now. But as time evolved, you get a better job, you get a better apartment, you get a better house, you able to travel a little more. You stand a third, then you still make choices to where, dang, you done messed up, you fall back a little bit, but then you move forward. I mean, it's always some changes. When you're younger, you couldn't go nowhere. Then you get older, you start to see, we can do more. Yeah, it's changed. Now, if he's stagnant and really not about change, but maybe it's just a time period. That's the problem. It's not like, so let's say y'all stay stagnant for 3, 4, 5 years. You have to have a plan, have to believe that something different can happen with you two. Like, okay, right now we're gonna focus on this because this has to be done. And if we stay on task, we'll get it done. We can move forward. But talk about change is constant. Again, I'm just saying, what are you talking about? That's all I'm asking. Because it said experiencing the death of her loved one caused her to question her happiness. I asked myself, Tia, are you happy? And I said, I truly need to find my peace and my happiness. So you allow emotion to help her make a decision. That's when I went to therapy. She said, okay, I just started to begin to blossom, evolve, learn, and grow. That was like an aha moment, the pivotal moment where I was like, you know what, it's time to really start living your truth. This was maybe 5 years before I decided to make my decision. It took me that long to process everything and realize that it's okay. So again, this has been in the works for years. So she already was unhappy. She was already trying to figure out a way about it. She was already trying to find validation or somebody to support her decision. Change is constant. It's okay that if something is no longer aligned or serving you, it's okay to let go. I'm gonna end with that because from what I was raised, how I was raised, you know, biblically, spiritually, scripturally, you are supposed to focus on serving others, whether that be your kids, your husband, and vice versa. And he's supposed to be serving you. When someone's serving you, it's like one of your number one requirements or concerns, you'll never be happy. Because you'll never find happiness, because just like getting freaking plastic surgery, someone is helping you change yourself, and then you look and you don't like it, and then you want more changes. That's just real life. But like I said, I'm not gonna read no more of this. That's all I got. I've been on this long enough. Tell me what you think. Leave your comments below and then share it with the world. With that being said, I'll leave you in peace. I'll see you on the other side.